Hey Warriors fans, Scott Warris here, just hanging out with a couple of graduate students that play for the Warrior men's basketball team who have decided to go to lacrosse for spring break. Yeah, that's pretty much all it really is. Sweet 16 matchup on Friday afternoon, the Warriors and Washington University in St. Louis. It'll be in lacrosse. Ryan Broeckel, Jacob Stoltz. Broeckel, I'll just start with you. How long did it take for you all to get down off that high from last week and kind of settle into the routine again to get ready for another weekend of games?
Yeah, it was a really fun atmosphere, especially Saturday, just celebrating on the bus ride back. Everyone was kind of riding that high on the way back. And Sunday, too. I know a lot of guys hung out Sunday, tried to, continue that bond. And then really yesterday was probably when it started to come down a little bit. It's like, all right, guys, we got work to do. We didn't just win 2 games. We're trying to do a lot more. So just super excited to take this opportunity to obviously spend, like you said, spring break in lacrosse.
Have you ever spent spring break in lacrosse before?
I have not, no.
Okay, well, now's as good a time as any. Who was more excited coming back? You, mom, dad, family, stuff like that?
Definitely me, but close second was Dad. He was very emphatic. Him and my whole family, extended family, great supporters for me throughout my whole career. So can't say enough about them. And we had a lot of fans from classmates to former players on the team come out and support. So we had a great support system at Platteville, and hope to have a lot more at lacrosse too.
All right, Jacob Stoltz, who, by the way, congratulations with the 26 against Platteville, now third on the all-time Warriors scoring chart. How long did it take for you to kind of come back down to calm again?
Yeah, as Breck said, Saturday was a really emotional, fun game. So, I try to celebrate it for a little bit, but understand that we still got a lot more to do. So, I'd say like Sunday night was kind of the time I was like, all right, let's flip the page and let's keep that edge.
The way that game ended, and we will preview the WashU matchup, but I'll just spend a second here just on last Saturday. The way that game ended, have you had a chance to kind of contextualize what you did, what the team did, obviously, but what you did to get that team to overtime?
Yeah, the whole situation was kind of surreal. I said earlier that it's like something you dream about, really. And obviously you dream about making all of them. But obviously, at the end of the day, all that really matters is that you get that win, and obviously going to overtime and getting that win was everything to me.
Okay, so we're back here in the practice gym. You're going to board a bus in just a little bit here and head to lacrosse. What has the last couple of practices been like? I know there's been an increased media attention. This isn't the first interview that either of you have done in the last couple of days. What's been the key to focusing what you need to do on the floor while still tending to some of the requests, like mine, off the floor?
Yeah, there's been a lot of media, and there's been a lot of talk outside of what's between the lines.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, as Coach Rob said earlier to us, it doesn't matter what's going on outside of us. All that matters is when we get on the court Friday, we got to be the best versions of ourselves. So it's obviously like we were saying, like Saturday's got to stay at Saturday, and we got to find that next page where we can have that edge once again.
Ryan, what can you share? Don't give away any corporate secrets here, but what can you share about what you've seen from your guys in practice before you head to lacrosse?
Yeah, just a lot of energy. Just try and come into practice. We've been focusing a lot, on that defensive side, which we've said all year, and rebounding, defensive rebounding. That's going to be the key for us throughout this whole tournament, and it has been. We've held the line or won the line the first 2 games, so that's really just the secret sauce to basketball in general. And we just try to put our stock in that defense and rebounding, because sometimes the shots don't fall, sometimes they do. You can't put your stock in that. So just try and really be intentional with everything we do, especially on that defensive side.
Okay, so the Bears of WashU, Washington University in St. Louis, the opponent on Friday at 4 o'clock. They are the team that beat you guys in overtime last year at their place in the first round. I assume at some point you wanted revenge. I don't know if you could have ever imagined it would come this way and get the opportunity the way it's presented itself.
Yeah, last year was a very somber ride home. We were all very upset. We didn't know who was all coming back. Obviously, it ended up being 5 guys coming back, which has been a blessing for us to continue success. But we also got a lot of great guys, in that 6 through 25 that can really play ball. So just it's a great experience to go back and try and get revenge. Super happy that it's a neutral site too. That always helps. But just super excited to take it to the Bears, like you said.
Jake, Obviously, you guys return all 5 starters from that game in St. Louis a year ago. They returned 4 of their 5 starters from that game in St. Louis a year ago. I mean, there's a lot of familiarity for what is basically an unfamiliar opponent.
Yeah, not many people have the opportunity, because last year when we lost to them, I thought that was my last college game ever in the moment. And not many people get the opportunity to think their college career was ended and then get to play that team again later. So obviously there's a lot of motivation from not just myself, everybody in the program. So we're really excited to get after them. Really good team, really well coached, a lot of great players, great offensive team. But you know what, we focus on what we do best, and we feel like we can take on anybody.
Okay, so let me ask. I mean, I'm sure you dissected that game many times in your head, if not actually looking at the film. What is the biggest thing that has to be better, has to be different this time versus last time?
Right. We just, like I said, we just got to play our style. If we be the best version of ourselves, we feel like they're going to have to adapt to how we play. And when they play our style, we feel very confident in, winning that game.
Ryan, same question. From last year to this year, what has to be different? What has to be better?
Yeah, just our approach and our edge. I think last year we were super high coming off of the conference tournament. First time in a national tournament game, right. And I don't know how many years it was, 16 or 18 or something like that. But we're a little bit more experienced. We've obviously got a couple games under our belt in this tournament, so just maintaining that edge and like Stoltz said, just be us.
Okay. I asked Coach this when we did our preview conversation, and it's posted obviously as well. X Factor. I love me a good X Factor. When you talk about the matchup between the Warriors and the Bears, give us something. Maybe it's a player, maybe it's a statistic, some sort of dimension of the game perhaps that fans should be following along.
I think it'll be the spark off the bench for us, whether it's Jaquel Chisholm, Sam Hans, Lucas, whoever else comes off the bench. I think the energy that they bring on the court, especially when I'm out there, because I typically log a lot of minutes, and seeing that energy full court, it definitely helps boost my energy a little bit too. So I would say that part of the game is the X factor.
Same question. Got an X factor for me?
Yeah, I like Broeckel's answer, but I would say the physicality. Last year we got rebounded by 13, I believe. A very physical team, probably a little bigger than we are. So being able to be physical, being able to get rebounds is going to be a huge X factor for us.
All right, before we let you go, we're going to do 5 questions here. It's just going to be, I'm going to pinball back and forth, okay? First answer that comes to mind. What is the lasting image from the win at Platteville that will forever be embedded in your mind? I'll start with Ryan.
My dad waiting to hug me after the game.
I would say 2. One was our coach Rob coming, showing a lot of emotion, giving a fist pump, which was really exciting. But also giving a hug to my mom after the game, super emotional game, and just being able to give her a big hug with her having tears was something that I'll always remember.
How many unread text messages did you have on your phone when you first opened it on the bus?
I was like 10 or 12. It was a lot. A lot of people that I didn't even realize were going to watch the game. Maybe they have all year, and they just didn't send me anything. But it was a lot.
Okay. How many unread text messages, give or take?
I don't know. Probably around there, maybe 20, 30.
Okay.
So somewhere around there. I don't know. I don't want to one-up you.
Yeah, you're a little bit more popular.
Wow.
I don't know how to answer that question. Somewhere around there. I'm not sure.
It's not a popularity contest,
Right.
gentlemen. At what moment, was there a point in the Platteville game when you thought, we have this, we've got this? I'll start with you, Jake.
There was not a single moment till there was zeros on the clock that I thought we were going to win that game. I'm never saying I thought we were going to lose that, but there was never a moment where I could even think like, hey, we won this game. So there was never really one till zeros on the clock.
Breck?
I have 2. One in regulation. I think I hit a 3 and we went up 4 or 6 with like 2 minutes to go. And then in overtime, AJ Voss hitting the big 3 to go up 1. Those are the 2 times I was like, yep, we're going to win this one.
Who did you hear from most? Text, voicemail, any which way, phone call, I don't know. Who did you hear from most that surprised you? Man, I never thought I'd hear from him or her or them, whatever. They were watching, they were following. They heard about what we just did. Who surprised you that way?
It's actually a funny story. Friday, sorry, this is supposed to be a quick one. Friday, my 4th grade teacher and my 7th grade coach, he's the same guy, he was in Platteville. just so happening visiting family, and so he went to the game and saw we were there. So he ended up getting to watch me play Saturday against Platteville, and he came up to me, shook my hand after the game. So that was really cool, full circle moment. Big mentor.
Didn't know he was going to be there.
I had no idea, and he texted me Friday night, and I was like, oh, cool.
All right, Stoltz, who'd you hear from that surprised you?
I wouldn't say like after Platteville, but throughout our playoff
Sure.
and the conference tournament, I had one of my grade school buddies who I haven't talked to probably in a while. And he reached out and said, hey, good luck at your tournament and stuff like that. So really nice of him.
And question number 5, last but not least, how many times, because the video of the locker room celebration has been watched over 100,000 times? Yes. How many times did you watch it? How many of the 100,000 plus are you responsible for, Ryan?
Everyone posted on Instagram. I'd say probably 75. It's been a lot.
How many times you watch that thing?
Probably like 50. Like you said, it was all over. So you keep looking at it, you can see the views keep going up and stuff like that. So
Have you ever seen Coach Ani like that? Has anybody ever seen him like that?
Probably not. Probably not. He was excited.
Yeah, no, it was great. The energy in the locker room was just awesome.
You might seem like that again in a few days, I'm just saying. Okay, it is the Sweet 16 as the Warriors and WashU, Friday, 4 o'clock at La Crosse. Gentlemen, I know you both have a bus to board. I appreciate you doing this. We'll see you in La Crosse as well for the big one.